Good night, good night. So we inside. Y'all, it's ladies' night. Sonali will be joining us a little later on. Right? So Abby, of course, is on the inside representing the UK. And you all know that, well, this month we touching on topics that may be surrounding love, we should see. Right? So the topic tonight is, do you prefer an open or mutual monogamous relationship? So we it's either or. Which one do you prefer? So before we so everybody coming in, some persons may have an idea of what an open relationship is, and of course everybody know what monogamous relationship is, right? Like everybody knows that one straightforward, one woman to one man. That's the mutual monogamous. Because there are a lot of times persons enter into relationships and they may not agree upon what type of relationship they really want to have. That ever happened to you, Abby? Like, have you ever, like, when you were in relationships before, did you discuss like what type of relationship you really want or expect?
I asked in the beginning, what
in the beginning.
Yeah, and then one would say, we will see how it goes, and I was like, and yeah, and one of them would say, nah, just a fun thing, it's all right with you, and at least I get the option,
Right, you get the option to know if to stay or if to just pump one time and move on. Because I mean, sometimes people just assume, because based on our culture, our belief systems, our upbringing, we learn that the monogamous relationship is what we should have, basically. So that's all we know, right? Of course, we'll hear about the horn, but really and truly, everybody grew up knowing that or learning that monogamous relationship is valued, held in high esteem. So not every girl, but most girls will grow up thinking, well, I want to get married, have one partner for the rest of my life. Of course, guys know this is what the ladies will want to hear. So they will say that they are going to have a monogamous relationship. So it goes both ways. However, some persons feel like if they are forced into it, right? So that's the thing. Now, when it comes to the open relationship, and I'll be like, no, I don't want to take open. So, Abby, what are your views on open relationships? So, open relationship, everyone, is where it is either one or both partners agree to have sexual activities or even just really show their attraction towards another person. It could be somebody who is gay, bi, it could be anything. So it's open to another and they agree upon that. Right? So it's not like because always have some people just may be caught up in it. They may not even know that they are actually in an open relationship, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it just catch them off guard because no discussion was had. This is the other partner's interest. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what are your views on the open relationship, Sabri?
Me personally, hell no.
And what is the reason? Must have a reason for the no.
My reason is one, connection. If I know I'm going to have a permanent connection with you, mm-hmm. It's going to be all confused and muffled up if the connection's all over the place. I can't focus my everything on you or what we're going to grow. That it makes no sense to me, in multiple partners.
So So what if it is your partner? That is the, because I mean it don't bound to be the both parties, you and the man. It could just be the man, it could just be you, right? But for you, how do you think about your partner having an open saying, because you may not be interested in certain sexual activities, or you may not have the same passion for the same things, then he is attracted to, he's dedicated to you, yes, but there's someone else that has same interests as him, so he may be attracted to that person. It may not be a committed relationship with that person, and that's what the open relationship is like. So they'll be committed, like solely committed to one person, but they may have other partners, but it's not committed as the original partner.
I'm not sure about that either. I mean, committed to me, yes, that's what everybody longing for. Somebody to be committed to them. But knowing that I don't know, they stray away elsewhere. I mean, they
Remember, you have the discussion, right? And it's saying so it wouldn't be a stray away. The person is committed to you or is coming back to you. They are not committed to the other.
Right. I think if I had to be in something like that, I wouldn't feel 100% comfortable, because where I want to spend my time with you, or even at least try to do the things, or try and get used to the things that you like. Yeah. Of course, that will take time because it's all new, and and to know that you're out there with someone else, giving you the stuff that I can't give you, I'm gonna feel a bit,
it's gonna bring on some insecurities.
Yes, that's the word. Yes, it will bring on a lot, because you don't know he getting what he needs out there, knowing that I reluctant to give for whatever reason. I'm gonna feel a bit insecure. He might come home next week. He might stay out there for a month or two. I don't know.
No, not so long. So that's another part of it, right? When it is persons are having an open relationship, and I think, I don't know, people can vote on this if they think it's what am I saying? Mainly the men that are the ones who have the other partners, or if you think it's the women who have other partners. Where think the scale, who prefers to have an open relationship, or who has more open relationships? Do you think the men do or the women do?
Yeah, I think the men would more prefer to have an open relationship. Because I heard about a couple who agreed to have an open relationship, but he told his wife she can't go with any man. He can't go with but she can't go with no man. So if she wanna have an open relationship, she should go on that side, which is a bit unfair,
Well, yes, of course it is unfair, because then he is saying that, well, and that's the thing. I think that's where women have these struggles with the open relationship. It has some women may not want to have another partner, so to them it won't matter. But let us say they say, okay, let's have some fair play. I should be able to have another partner as well. I'm committed to you, but I can also, if we are being open, and it's something that the people really have to discuss, because how much time are you going to spend with that other person? What days, what time are you going to see that person? Where are you meeting with this person? Is it going to be like a public thing so everybody know, okay, you're with this person as well? So it have a lot, hi Sonali, a lot of, things, that questions to be made. So Sonali, what do you prefer, an open or a mutual monogamous relationship?
Mutual monogamous all the way.
I agree.
Right. So what if it is? So, what if your partner wants an open relationship?
Well, that person have to be this one now. Well, first and foremost, they have to be honest and tell me that, like, from upfront, like when it is we now getting to know one another, because you can't wait until when it is we become serious and there's some major feelings and we really care about and maybe thinking about certain things together, then you come and drop this bombshell on me. If it is you had come from the start, and I say, okay, maybe, okay, this is what you want, so I know this relationship ain't all that serious and not monogamous, then maybe I'll say, okay, but I still wouldn't be comfortable with it, and
All
I
right.
was like,
So,
come
what
with me
Trevor
from the
is
start.
saying there? So, Trevor wants to know. He wants to know why only two choices. What about the greatness of polygamy? Oh gosh, Trevor. Oh gosh, we are talking right now about open and mutual monogamous. That's the topic right now. Okay, let's stick to it. Which one you want? Now, some persons, so there's a line between the open and the polygamous relationship, right? Because as we see, as we just said, men are really the ones who may want to have more than one partner. So on their end, it is open. But polygamy now, they may be committed to all three or all the two ladies or how much ever they have. And that is really basically the difference. Right? And all the ladies may be getting along. I don't know how it works. But the open relationship, the man is committed to one, but the other parties, good night, Lisa, the other parties is not something very serious. It's just simply the other needs or wants or these, let's say, desires that the person may have really and truly, and nothing committed. So have you all ever found yourself caught up in an open, so you start off a relationship thinking, okay, it's monogamous, mutual, thinking that's the road. You're committed to this person, and then you realize, well, wait now, I'm in an open relationship. That ever happened to any one of you?
No.
No?
Not to my
Abby?
knowledge. Either I could have been naive, but I don't know. No, I would say no. Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, I had, and I get to find out on Instagram. Well, I now meet this guy, chatting for a good 3 weeks. Met up with him a couple times. And I think Instagram was now the hot thing out. And yeah, I get to find out that he texting other women. But not knowing that one of the women that I met during carnival time, I met her and we become friends. And yeah, I got to find out that he been texting her and messaging her and whatnot. And then when I ask questions, like, yeah, nothing wrong with that. And that's how I found out. And I was like, yeah, no.
So, but I mean, that's the thing, right? So sometimes people think just texting a person is a relationship, and sometimes it's just people talking and not really a relationship. Did they go out together? Did they spend time together? Those are the questions. Because a lot of times, when persons are in like relationships, they may talk to other persons, and it may not be anything sexual. It just might be some mutual interest, whether it's hiking, like adventurous stuff, food, nutrition, books, just mutual interest, and not particular anything sexual or they're getting deep into anything. Come like they just have a friend, like really have a friend in a particular area. But so sometimes what happens, what I realize is that, especially women, as soon as it is a man is, just speaking to another woman, immediately the woman thinks there's sexual interest or the man is leading towards this other woman. So one time, so in a relationship with her, like really thinking that type of relationship when that may not even be the case. Sometimes men do the same thing as well with women. I think that's because of jealousy and they're thinking, okay, I'm committed, so I really shouldn't be speaking to another man or to any other woman. So Trevor is saying he doesn't think the open relationship makes sense. The people not serious out here.
Exactly.
Right?
Serious.
Now, because somebody may have an open relationship, it may not necessarily mean that they are not serious. Because, okay, so Trevor might argue that, well, if it is the man wants to have more than one partner, why not have a polygamous relationship and be committed to all? Right? But then that other party, they may not want to be in a polygamous relationship. They prefer, okay, these are our mutual interests. This is what I'm here for. And they are being an adult about it. This is what it is they want. This is what they prefer. So it's not that they are not serious. It's just that's what they prefer. All right, so Lisa's saying it has to be his or her choice. Yes, so it is a choice. Whatever type of relationship, it needs to be a choice and it needs to be agreed upon. So now do you ever ask a partner, what type of relationship are we having here? Whether it's open or mutual, monogamous?
Sadly, no. I haven't. Honestly, I haven't. And to me, it was assumed. And that's the dangerous thing about assuming stuff. So, but I have never. I take cues from like when it is your first dating and courting from the things that you said. So I would take it from that. I am a person, I listen very carefully. I might look like if I don't pay attention, but I listen very carefully and I take the cues from that.
Right. So Abby was saying earlier, she asked from the get-go, because it really don't make sense assuming that you are in a mutual monogamous relationship only to find out, okay, my partner is really interested in an open relationship or polygamous relationship like Trevor G wants to have and is always promoting, right? Some persons, they don't want anything committed at all. They just come, go whenever they feel like. So sometimes it's just something sexual and nothing more than that. So that is why it is very important to know and not assume. So Lina is saying there are not enough men for, I guess is, the ratio, man to woman ratio, we know there are more women than men. And we mentioned this before. So sometimes, ladies, we go in thinking, yeah, I alone. And really and truly, that's not what it is. It is very much open. And as Abby did bring up earlier, why she wouldn't want an open relationship? Because insecurities. So there are the pros and there are the cons actually to open relationships. Right? So you're saying there's no every woman to have their own man. Right? So there well, for me, it's asking if we have more than one. He might train. Okay, so my question: if the person is a lesbian and wants to have an open, right? So both parties must agree upon having that open relationship. So let's say it's a woman who wants to have it could, as I was mentioning earlier, Abby, it could be somebody who is gay or lesbian, bisexual. It could be anybody or somebody who is straight, right? So yes, the person may be open to that as well. If they say, okay, yes, we are having an open relationship, they might say yes. Make sure that they get a STD test, So people, there are rules. It doesn't be like, okay, you can just go and do what you want. So while it is you are committed to that person, there are some rules, there are some boundaries that shouldn't be crossed. So you're making sure you do your test, right? The person, whoever you're getting involved with sexually, they must do their test. It means that you're not spending more time with that person than the partner that is you're committed to, right? So it have they might say now you're not allowed to spend birthdays or any special events. Then it will be showing that okay, you're committed to both of us and it's not really an open relationship as we say it is. Yeah, so it could be tricky. And then of course most of the time it's women who mainly feel insecure. They will question, okay, am I really the one for him? Okay, so like I'm saying, being real, it will always be like this. Why is anything going on here? I ain't get to read it out. We need to stop living in a dream. So Lion is saying that it will always be where there's going to be some either an open relationship or a polygamous relationship maybe. But with polygamy, it means that everybody have to be on the same page. That is just my view. Lisa is saying it's like one person was straight and now gay in the but that's something different. The person just changed their sexual preferences, right? And if it is they are still in the relationship with the person who is of the opposite sex, it means that they're actually bisexual and not gay. Yeah? They are bisexual in that case. I mean, everybody have their thing that, So, Sonali, do you think it really have any pros, Abby? Do you think it have any pros to having an open relationship?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, because it could go either way. You could say whatever you want to say, tell me what I want to hear. And then after you found your other partner that you would just like to have fun with, if you're committed to me, then what's stopping them from being committed to them and end what we got? It could go like that. I don't trust that open thing.
You don't trust it. Sonali.
And there may be pros, but I don't really see pros for me. Honestly and truly, I really don't see it for me. Because, like Abby said, what's stopping you from just suddenly changing your mind? Human beings are fickle beings. So, because you could just suddenly feel like you're getting something better. The grass is greener on that side. And then you suddenly treat me like shit, or you only stay with me because it benefits you in some little way, but you really and truly switch. So there may be pros for each person. There will be a pro or pros, but for me, I don't really see any pros for me.
Right. Right. So
people nowadays are even far more fickle than back then. So.
So, with the research, you're saying that they are actually pros. Of course, there will be cons, right? So, one of the pros is that the person that they are committed to wouldn't have, let us say, all the work to do. They would not be responsible for everything. Meeting the person needs, wants, desires. In that they are okay, let us say in terms of sexual activities, it have some things that the partner that they are committed to may not want to do or may not feel comfortable in doing, but the other person will meet that. Or they may not want their committed partner to, engage in that type of activity because of maybe safety reasons or whatever the reason is. And then the other person too, because they may not have the same mutual interests as I was talking about, like in terms of food, agriculture, books, massage. So right now I'll be doing massage. She might meet somebody and she say, yeah, we're on the same page, and she might have a partner that really don't even want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about your work. I don't want to hear about what you're interested in. It's how some people that wouldn't want to talk about that person's interest, so they may find somebody who is interested. They might want to go on a hike. You want to go wine tasting, but your partner is not interested in that, so they will find someone who is interested. So it takes what they may say, the burden off of the partner, right? So Lisa is saying, or you come home and that partner in love with someone else, and it is an open relationship and wants it to be open, right? So we see the lady saying they don't see any pros for them, no pros on their end. Maybe for the man, yes, but not for them. Of course, there are cons, because then you open up yourself to sexually transmitted infections. If it is some persons don't know what they're doing, then they may have an unwanted pregnancy. So those are the things I think people may sometimes, that's the risk some people will think about. Not necessarily the person going with the other person, but really sexually transmitted infections, unwanted pregnancy. Maybe it's possible they just might decide to go with the next person because they realize they maybe feel more compatible with them. I don't know. Right? So, well, for me, sometimes a person would have gotten hurt real bad in a relationship, and after it ends, they decide they're not going to get into a relationship again and choose to stay in open relationship. In that relationship, your heart is not invested. It's mostly physical, right? So, yes, there's no investment really being made. But Olufemi, what do you prefer? Open or monogamous relationship? Right? So far, Lisa, you didn't say what you prefer. If you prefer an open relationship or a monogamous relationship. Right? So Abby state her case. She wants monogamous. Earlier on previous life, she said she's not sharing. Have no sharing here. And Abby, do you think it's because of how you were brought up?
It could have been, yes. It could have been knowing, married to one person, live happily ever after, wife, picket fence, and kind of stuff. Yeah, it could be that ingrained in us growing up. Yeah. Yeah.
Sonali, what about you?
I would guess so, yeah. Especially with my family, like especially with the females and the stories that as a child you wasn't supposed to hear. You just happen to be in the room, the next room, or passing by, and the things that they will say, and then of course the older ones will say one year, make sure you got a man who this and that and whatever. I think that would have contributed, but what I saw growing up and witnessing the experience of others, really and truly from it, that is what kind of have me for the monogamous relationship.
Yeah. Right. So Ryan is saying if you're in a committed relationship, anyone can change their mind and there's no guarantees. It is still a risk.
Nobody in this discrediting that, because that is a number one factor. Because whether in polygamy, monogamous, open, that is a factor. But is a factor that is one factor that you could say, all right, you kind of expect it also. But when it is, you have an open relationship, you have multiple factors, just like the same thing like what you said, like with the STDs and all of that. The moment you put a series of risks together, you begin to calculate, really and truly.
One than the other, yeah.
Exactly.
Right. So Olufemi saying sometimes the other person may be in another relationship. And that person may not even see it as being open, really and truly. Eh? So that's why people are like, what open relationship? They don't have a clue what that is. They don't even think that should exist. So nobody talks about it. And I think that's the reason why women in particular don't ask. You go in thinking, here what? This man is for me alone. You're not thinking, okay, he may be interested in having other partners. So you don't ask a question. You really don't have that discussion. So, Lion, since you're hot in the comment sections right now, have you ever discussed that with your partner? Like, are we having a open relationship or monogamous relationship? Yeah. So Olufemi is still answer the question. Be waiting. Which do you prefer, Lisa? Which do you prefer? We know what Trevor you want, which is a polygamous relationship, right? And there are many times that have men, they wouldn't call it open, but they are committed to more than one woman. Just sometimes the woman may not know, they may or may not know. They may not be living in the same household, right? I mean, it's true because they will take care of a family in either different parts of the country or in some other country. Sometimes in the almost basically in the same neighborhood, right? Lisa say if the person was in a relationship for 4 years and was gay and wants to have a monogamous one, would they be ready? Well, I mean, that is up to the person, yeah? Like I saying, you can still be married and get something that is a false sense of security. Linda, you answer my question there? No need to discuss anything. If you're not on my vibe, I am out. Okay, so Lion is saying there's no discussion. So Olufemi is saying it's hard to say which one she prefers. Alright, if I find someone worth investing my time and life, then I'll want a monogamous. Okay. So if it is you believe, okay, I can have a lifelong relationship with this person, yeah. Long term, yes. If she's not seeing it as being long term, then she may be open, I'm assuming, to having an open relationship. Because some person believe when it is, they are dating, they can date more than one person at the same time, right? Because they're feeling out everybody to see which person they really want to be with. What do you think about that? Dating more than one person at the same time.
I think that's what really open means. I just want to feel around to see which one I really want. That's what I think it is. You want to have multiple relationships. You just test in the air to see which one you're going to stay with. That's what I think it is.
And will you do that? Like date more than one person at the same time?
Not too much hard work. No.
Sonali, will you date more than one person at the same time to figure out who you think you're more compatible with?
I don't like people. I don't like people. That is a lot of work. You know, it's to be dating one and come to learn about multiple people and then to decide who you want. Not to say that the relationship I wouldn't put in the work, but to me it's like people get me vexed very quickly. So no, I wouldn't date multiple people. If it is I really want you, I will be with you. That is what. But go with this one, that one, and go out on a date here and there. No. I first date my bed and my pillow and blanket. That is a multiple I would date. My bed, my pillow, and my blanket.
That is better.
Yeah. So I know it have some ladies, and they will date more than one guy at the same time because they are feeling out. Women don't So, like I say, women don't dictate how I view my life moving forward. Yes, yes.
Nobody said anything
So,
about dictating, right? Lion, where you
well, I
going?
think earlier on he was saying that if it is the person, like the person on the same vibe as him, they will know what his vibe is. So it wouldn't have any reason to discuss whether you have a mutual, a monogamous or an open relationship. Once you know his vibe, let's say whatever he believes in. Now and then, so that means that when have nobody coming, let us say he prefers the open relationship, or he might say, yeah, I want a little polygamous relationship. It's not the woman to come and say, well, here, but I don't want this. If it is, I want monogamous, so you have to be monogamous. Like, I don't know if it is saying that, right? So, yeah.
Well, I get that. If nobody can tell you what they want, you know, a man
Yeah.
can't tell me,
Or,
oh, I
or,
need
or
dress.
say that they need to be in this type of relationship,
I don't
right?
believe. Yeah.
Because sometimes that is why people might say, let us discuss. But I guess if it is you really talking to the person, you're having discussions, you'll know what the person stands for. Because sometimes, Sonal used the right word earlier, being naive. So sometimes because we want monogamous, or that's all we want to see. You say, yes, I'm in a monogamous relationship with this person. When really and truly, that's not it. All right. So Lina is saying, what you bring to the table to claim me as yours. Yeah. So for me saying you just can't assume. So assumptions always puts people in trouble. Assuming. It can really put us in some problems. It will cause you heartache. It will cause you stress. It cause you a lot of things, right? So it wouldn't really make sense assuming that in a particular type of relationship that you want to have, and that's not what it is. So we really need to be like aware. If it is you realize, nah, this doesn't really feel monogamous and I really want a monogamous relationship, then you have to decide, am I willing to take the risk? Am I willing to see whatever pros there are when it comes to having an open relationship, or am I just going to move forward with life?
I'll move forward with it. Thank you very much.
So that's really it. We have to really know what it is we want, what we are willing to, let's say, compromise, what we're going to compromise, and what it is you're really going to give up. Right? Because what I say, what they're bringing to the table to claim him.
What men bringing to the table to claim me? To be vice versa, it can't be one-sided, because there are multiple. You have plenty choices, options, I should say. Men have plenty options, and then you want to come by me with your hands swinging, expecting me to bring something to you. But you have so many options. What you bringing for me to claim me?
Women claim men that benefits them. I do the same. So Line is saying that you claim women that benefit you there. That's what it's saying there. Let us confirm that. Right? So, I mean, when people go into relationships, some people might say they're really going in it for nothing. They may say they're genuinely interested in the person. Some may actually say, well, they're going in looking. It's always something, whether it's to feel some level of comfort, security, whether they're going in because they think they're going to have good sex. It could be so many things people might get into a relationship for, even though people may say they're not going into it for anything. But really and truly, you're going into it for something, whether it's to have a lifelong relationship with the person, a romantic relationship, you want to do something to build a business together. It could be anything that you're really getting into a serious or committed relationship with someone for. And you may see that, okay, I wouldn't be able to do this on my own. Because, like some women could say, well, I don't need a man. Woman will throw that around. I don't need no man. I can handle myself. I'm an independent woman, right? Not realizing that really and truly you want, and if you feel that need, that's when we look at the need and the pyramid. That is one of the top things. Having a partner. Sometimes it might even come before food and shelter. In some people books, it might come before. In some cases, it might come before food and shelter because it's that serious for them. I'll be saying no to that. Like, I need my food. I ain't nobody man. Lisa is saying, suppose the woman is more financially stable and the other is not. So, yes, it may have a case where in the open relationship, the other woman is maybe more financially stable, yeah? Then it's saying romance is part-time, never full-time when you pass the honeymoon stage. Right? So, some people just think it's going to last, Alright, so Lisa is saying they want that desire. Some people really think that romance will always be there. Some people say that it's always there, but really and truly, it's something that you have to keep working. It's something that you're always keeping working on. It's not like, right, we're going to do it every day or every weekend or whenever. People could get, just as they may get tired of work, they may get tired of having sex. They may not be in the mood, and that is normal. So, yeah. And that's why sometimes when it is that, as I use the word, honeymoon phase is over, what is keeping that person around, really and truly? Why will you stay, or why will you, let's say, keep that person around? Because that honeymoon, that romantic, all the explosions and the fireworks and everything that was happening, that is over. So what now? Why are you
here? Interesting.
Yeah.
Me, I would
definitely
spontaneous. So you wouldn't even you wouldn't even expect it coming. That's what I'm gonna do. When I get
the romance.
Yes, try to keep it spontaneous. Don't let them know it. And just one day, a Thursday night or a Monday night, you come from work and bam, like what the hell's going on? That is what I want to keep rolling, and I think that's gonna help keep the connection last longer-ish.
And do you really think? Because sometimes there are times when men really don't feel like having sex. And it don't matter what it is you do.
Yeah. No, I think if you just give that little extra juice of energy, they may. You wouldn't know unless you try something. Yeah.
Lion, what do you say to that? What Abby just said. To just throw it in spontaneous and in not in the mood. Are you going to give in? Are you going to say, here, I'm not in the mood?
Because just when it comes for work.
Because there are times like women as well. The men may be in the mood and the woman just not giving in at all.
You have to set the mood. You have to set it. They
may set a mood, but you just saying, I not really feeling this mood now. Because we sometimes women we can be moody, emotional, and it don't matter what mood anybody set, and if it is we make up our minds that you're not doing something, you're just not going to do it.
True.
You know what I mean? So what is to make whatever mood we set, make the man say, yeah, forget about it, I ain't feeling tired no more. So it's the same thing. It might be like, oh, then I ain't doing this right. But it doesn't mean that. It's just that. It's just a part of life.
True. I mean, they said
So
try
like
and
I'm
try.
saying, I love
Try to
sex,
do
but
your
if I'm not happy in the relationship, so
if I'm putting out my all to try to get you happy, and sometimes you catch, most of the time you don't, then what's the point?
right.
You know?
Yeah, so as we say, most persons, so Lisa is saying, oh, he comes home with a different scent.
That is when you know he
Yeah,
wouldn't
that,
be in the mood and he's smelling different. And it lying.
or the woman just wouldn't be in the mood because she's smelling a different scent. Yeah, yeah. Right, so as we see the consensus here, Lisa didn't say if she rather monogamous or an open relationship. So Lisa, you could throw that in before we leave. Aliyah, let us know, what about you? I know you just came in. Do you prefer an open or a monogamous relationship? Right now, it seems like monogamous because it's really the ladies here, right? And the general consensus is that most women would like to have a monogamous relationship. They are not seeing open relationship benefiting them, but only their partner. Yeah. So we'll be back again next time. You all know March is coming up. It have so many things, topics, very serious things happen in the month of March. When it comes to it have International Women's Day in the month of March. So Lion is saying the choices that men have, you really have to work at it to keep him fixed on you. And I think that goes for everybody. If it is the man and to keep the woman, he have to put in a lot of work. You know, it's vice versa. Or it might have some women, they may not be interested in, stepping out. They really fix on that person, despite what they may still stick with the partner. Same as men, they may still stick with the woman. It all comes down to choice at the end of the day. Lisa is saying, what if that person not going down and you get upset? Well, it might show off the person mood. I don't know which going down you're talking about, but if that is going down, I'm thinking now. It will just change the whole mood. It will show off. It may show off.
Change the mood.
Huh?
You expecting
I don't know. I don't know if it is. If I'm thinking what Lisa going down means, but if it is what I'm thinking, it definitely may show off what was going on. What was taking place. Yes. So most people, well, women, I should say, will like the monogamous, and we did ask what preferred. Lion is saying we are the majority. It's not the same. Sorry. Okay.
Whatever, Lion. I think it doesn't matter what a woman do. Walk like a crab, bend backward, flip, sit down on your face. It doesn't matter what a woman do. A man will or could always find other options out there. So I don't think women have to do anything to keep anybody. If he decides to go, he will go.
I think if anybody decides to go, they will go.
Yeah. It doesn't
matter
matter
how the man or the woman.
Woman try, yeah. It doesn't matter how hard I try to keep somebody. I can't. And I won't.
Right, I guess that's where Lion say, how can you claim the person? So we will think about what we're talking about next week to end off this February month and get down to some serious business in the month of March. So it was nice. Everybody have a good night, right? And you'll look out for Real Talk on Fridays. Look out for you'll see Ladies Night on a Saturday, 7 p.m. We are doing, now this Sweaty Sundays gym edition, right, ladies? So it won't have any aerobics, but more gym edition this time around for Sweaty Sunday. Because even though it have AC, you're still sweating inside the gym. And this Carnival Friday, Sonali let us know if anybody could do really last minute orders. But Friday coming, it be having. You could, right? So Sonali saying, yeah, go ahead and place your last minute orders. So chicken 45, fish at 50. So just, call, send a message to the page, let us know if you want barbecue this Carnival Friday. And during the week, you could get a breakfast and a lunch. Inbox us, for more details on what you want. And of course, we have training during the week, Monday to Thursday, 4:30 a.m. You get an aerobics to start off your morning, right? If you realize you're already hitting your goals and you need some coaching, hit us up. And don't forget to top up at any time. Yeah, call us anytime. Anyway. Are you going?
Anytime, Lion, anytime.